We're back live for another rocking interview with global leaders, and today we have a lady that needs no introduction. She's been changing lives on a daily basis and making a difference. We've had such an incredible response from all of you lovely people who's been supporting the global leaders, learning from the global leaders, and most importantly, I will say, adding that value to your life. So the lady we with today, as I mentioned, needs no introduction. She's a board member in many massive companies. One to mention that she just literally shared with me recently before our interview, that's the Oxford Bridge. And all I can say is when I had a chat to her, it's incredible the sort of things that she's doing for the community, the sort of things that she's doing around the world. So all I can say is sit tight, get yourself a cup of coffee if you need to, because right now we're going to get live with the rocking Aarti Moore Roberts.
Thank you so much.
Roberts is right?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, lovely. I got it right first hit. So talk to us, Aarti.
What would you like to know?
Well, there's so much. And our first segment, and our segment is Who Am I? So tell us a little bit more about your childhood, where you grew up, and a little bit more about yourself.
And that's an awesome question, because I believe that where we grow up has a massive bearing on where we are right now. And for me, growing up in Durban, I grew up in Reservoir Hills and Newlands West. I had a lot of different experiences. It was one that was rich with diversity, with access to people from around the world. My parents had a restaurant when we were very young. But there was also a lot of the underlying issues, like the normal stuff people don't like to talk about. There was abusive situations. There were a lot of demeaning situations. But all of that, through growing up, I learned that is what made me me. And I learned to embrace it as a lesson, that it was given to me as something that I needed to grow in order to be able to connect with people better.
Wow. Well, and I think, just leading from that, and I did tell you it's going to be a truly special interview because she's got so much of personal development knowledge and so much of golden nuggets to share with the people. I think that right there was such a nice way to start this entire interview, is because, one of my mentors told me, it's not where you start that's important, it's where you finish off.
Exactly.
And I think we need to learn from our humble beginnings. We need to learn from the situations we experience in life that can help us become better people. So tell us a little bit more. You did speak about childhood, growing up in Durban, South Africa, Reservoir Hills, humble beginnings.
Yes.
Tell us some of the things that helped you in your childhood and groomed you to become this incredible success that you are.
I think for me, what stands out would be the ability to respect people, regardless of where they come from. My parents always taught us that no matter where people are, no matter what they have, we never ever belittle people, we never talk down to people. And my grandmother taught me forgiveness was the greatest gift I could give to myself, because that would allow me to restrain the way I speak to people and to breathe life into people's lives. And that to honor people meant that I needed to humble who I am and to be of service to others.
Wow.
And I think that our Indian culture teaches that quite a lot. It is service to humanity, service to God, and that's been instilled in us from very little, and I hold that very strongly within my everyday interactions.
Wow. Lovely stuff. That's why I say, every of your answers makes me think of one of the things that my mentor actually shared with me. And he always says, treat the janitor like the CEO, treat the CEO like the janitor. But that's the sort of mentality, it's not about judging anybody. It's about respecting people. And the more we respect people, the more we can respect ourselves ultimately. So before we finish segment number 1, and that's one of the things we love about global leaders, it's quick, fast, impactful, a lot of knowledge and a lot that you can learn. Tell us a little bit more about Aarti. Tell us who is Aarti? Who am I?
Well, I think one of the best ways to describe it is that I have built my life around a very simple saying. I'm a compassionate leader of influence. And the reason I walk this earth is to touch people's lives. And my intention on a daily basis is to interact with every single person at a level where they feel loved, honored, and respected as a human being just for being in my presence.
Well, we're back for segment number 2 with the rocking Aarti. And I must say, If you missed out on the beginning where you got to learn a little bit more about her, I suggest scroll back, check it out. Very interesting. Humble beginnings, but what an incredible success story, I must say. So in segment number 2, we're speaking about what makes you you, your USP, and I think that special component. So tell us more about that.
So my special thing is compassion. And I find that using compassion is the one key ingredient that people need right now in this world to help and guide and support themselves to where they deserve to be. I find that we're really hard on ourselves. And I only learned this lesson growing up because I used violence to realign injustice in this world. But that doesn't actually solve anything. I think compassion and understanding for where people are at and where they're going in life allows me to be more thoughtful with my words, my actions, and my behavior in the way I help to guide them to something more, something better. And I find that to be able to see what people are not saying is a bigger gift, because then I'm able to see right through them and get them to the point where they feel seen, actually seen. And most people don't get that. That is why we crave love and attention and approval from people, because a lot of the times we don't see people. And I think that would be a key ingredient to help people to the next steps in their lives.
Well, that was fantastic. And a lot of us in life need that sort of pillar of strength, and they need that sort of role model in life, someone to look up to in moments where we dip, our energy dips a little bit. And tell us a little bit more about your role model.
My first role model is myself.
Lovely.
And I believe that because I created this saying that I never come down to somebody else's level, bring them up to yours. However, if you're not evolving and continuously developing, what are you enticing and encouraging people to come up to? And so for me to lead myself is going to be the greatest challenge ever. Wow. It means I've got to question myself continuously so that I can be an influence that is positive in somebody else's life. And then I've got my children and my husband and my best friends. I have a core group of people from all ages, from as young as 6 and 7 years old to 70, 80 years old.
Wow, so
So
you've got
the
that
range is brilliant. And I find that our role models shouldn't be international people. It's the people in our lives, the people that guide and support us that we forget about, the people that tell us when we are doing things wrong without worrying about the repercussions or whether we'll get upset or not. Those are the people that push our boundaries and push us to be better. And that's my entire family and friends. And they're my role models.
Your inner circle. Your
inner circle.
I love that. I love that.
Yes.
And I think it's so important to value and appreciate the people that are close to you. A lot of us, we be looking for that validation out there.
Yes.
But sometimes it's right in your home. It's the people closest to you. So we're going to get to segment number 3 very shortly. And we're going to learn a little bit of golden nuggets from our main lady today, the global leader of the week, the incredible Aarti Roberts. So, guys, all I can say right here, right now, before we get into segment number 3, the entire vision of global leaders was based on a great book that meant a lot to me, and that book was called Think and Grow Rich.
Brilliant.
And it was all about taking golden nuggets from people who, I will say, have persevered and kept going, and despite what obstacles they faced, they just kept going and kept believing in what they wanted and their vision. And it's so great to have people like Aarti who proves exactly what I'm saying, what Think and Grow Rich is all about. And that's what we're about, taking the golden nuggets from the global leaders and presenting it to you absolutely free. So let's get straight into segment number 3. And segment number 3 is all about now. It's all about you. It's all about golden nuggets. What sort of golden nuggets or what sort of advice can you give to the people out there who's currently going through our global pandemic, which is affecting each one of us?
I think a simple sentence would be change the perspective. I find that to use that sentence in everyday environments, whether we're in the work environment or unemployed, whether we're at home or we're seeking to find ourselves, our vision, our purpose, our mission in life. Right now, people are feeling lost. And yet, whilst a lot of people are feeling lost, the world is still revolving, money is still flowing, ideas are still flowing, business is still growing. people are still prospering and succeeding. So what is the perspective that you need to change in your thinking to tap into that potential? And that talks into a personal potential. We were talking earlier about never bite the hand that feeds you. But here's the thing, when I say change of perspective, I say never bite the hand that feeds you, but do if it prevents you from feeding yourself. And so there's the thing. I will challenge every single thing that's happening right now. I use the pandemic as my stepping stone to reach out and to step up above what I believed was possible and to then create the impossible. And so when I looked at what this pandemic has done, it has taken away my complacency. It's taken away my old school of thinking, and it's opened myself up to a range of incredible opportunities around the world. Now, it wasn't from luck, and it wasn't that I attracted it to myself only. It's because I pursued it. You were talking about Think and Grow Rich. Persistence is one of the chapters that says continue every single day, and you do stuff on a daily basis that helps you to grow. Now, if you're not growing and if you're sitting there and wallowing in self-pity, then you've got nobody else to blame. You need to step up, take responsibility, and be accountable because the world is waiting. And I know that for a fact because I've been able to connect on so many different levels with people from all over the world, including our country.
I love that. And you did share with me the incredible work you're doing around the world and the lives you're changing, not just in South Africa. I mean, there's so many international countries you mentioned, and I think that's so incredible. For me personally, when I'm hearing all of this great stuff and you're saying it's all about mindset, and I agree with you, I think 500%, that we need to look at this entire global pandemic from a different perspective. Thank you so much for your input on that. What we're going to do right now is we're going to speak about, before we get to the end, is some of the obstacles that you faced and what was the mindset you had, because I love the answer that you shared with me in the beginning of this interview. And I said, if we can change one life out there and inspire one person, I'm happy. And you said, let's do it to thousands. And that's what I want, thousands, and if not millions. But I think it all starts with that first one.
Yes.
So what was that sort of mindset that you had to overcome that obstacles that you faced and made you this person you are?
Remember I said, let's change perspective. And one of the things that I speak into is breaking the glass ceiling. Now, the glass ceiling talks about our mindset. It talks about our belief systems. It talks about our programming, what we allow ourselves to believe. And so for me, I always say to people, if you had to change that perspective, glass is see-through and it's transparent. It can be broken. So what is limiting you in your belief systems in what you can have, what you can do, and what you can be? So it's always going to be your choice. I feel that decisions made correctly, made with thoughtfulness, made with intention, will help you to grow and succeed in every aspect, whether it's your relationship, whether it's with your family, whether it's uplifting your children, whether it is connecting on a global level. You don't have to go looking to the global side of things. Look in your own home, in your own community. Where can I uplift? And not just serve people, because there's a difference. You can serve people and become a doormat, or you can be of service and you can create significance. And that is massive.
I like that. So it points me back to one of the great lines, and it seems like she hits all the mental lines. Failing to plan is planning to fail. And I think that is one of the key, no matter what you're facing, plan and take that action and you will achieve what you want to achieve. So if you were a young entrepreneur starting from scratch, what would you give to the people out there? Before we finish up our rocking global leader interview with the incredible Aarti.
Well, I think what would be brilliant is that we've been developing a platform with a friend of ours in Sweden over the last couple of years. He's invested quite heavily into it, and it's an entrepreneurial platform. Now, if I had known about things like this, it would have fast-tracked my success because I began my entrepreneurial journey at the age of 19. I've never worked for anybody. I've never earned a salary from anybody. I've grown my businesses internationally from hard work and connecting with the right people. But here's the difference, is that people going onto this platform, it's qbmo.com, It allows people to access every single area and aspect of the development as an entrepreneur, from idea to completion,
Nice.
with access to angel investors. So there's support, there's resources, there's guidance, and there's everything that you would need to actually challenge your thinking, but also to help you succeed. It's a nurturing, beautiful, incredible platform. And if I was given that as a young entrepreneur,
Success is
I
inevitable.
would have done it immediately.
I like
Exactly.
that, and I like that, and I like the fact that it's free. You know, it helps
Yes.
people access it, brainstorm their great ideas. Who knows? You could be sitting there with the
Yes.
next multi-billion-dollar idea,
Exactly.
and it just takes the right structure and the right
Yes.
people to help you make that vision a reality. So, Aarti, I must say it's been such a rocking interview. You got so much of knowledge and so much of energy, and we look forward to working with you and working with all of your great projects and getting it out there to the people. Aarti, any final words to all of the rocking people out here?
I'll always leave people with my special saying: at the level of respect, all people are equal. Respect yourself, honor yourself, and believe that you're worth it, so that you can impact, love, and care for others in the way that they deserve to be loved too.
Wow, what a great communicator. Ladies and gentlemen, from myself, Rajiv Mothie, I've got only one thing left to say. You guys have just been motivated. God bless you.